What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Heel Hookers podcast, episode 152. We are back with a whole lot of stuff to talk about for this weekend coming up, and none of it has to do with the UFC.
Yep.
We talking GFL, we talking PFL, we're talking one championship, the big three at this point of fucking subpar MMA promotions.
The below average.
I have said it a billion times, but you cannot count one championship as an MMA promotion.
They are, though.
They are a fight organization.
Where did RDR come from?
They are a combat sports organization.
Combat sports.
They
yes,
are, but they're still an MMA promotion.
But yes,
they promote MMA.
This fight card that we are talking about has 2 MMA bouts, 1 grappling bout, and 8 Muay Thai bouts. They are a combat sports promotion.
If anything, they're a Muay Thai promotion that just does MMA.
Hey, and they still have as many MMA titles on the line as PFL this weekend, so you can't say shit about it. Let's fucking go. We got 170 this Friday morning with, headline with a Muay Thai championship. We got MMA title on the line, too. We got PFL coming up with, is the title the PFL Road to Dubai Champion Series Championship? Is that what we're calling it?
I'm going to the Bellator title. I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
Yeah, PFL be making their titles way too wordy. It's fucking ridiculous.
Don Davis loves a wordy fucking title for
really
MMA,
does.
Which is so crazy because it's like, bro, everything is like, UFC, fucking CF, like everything is so simplified in terms of like the branding in MMA.
Yes.
Why the fuck is it the PFL Road to Dubai Champion series? Like,
so the PFL RDCS?
Sure.
PFL RDCS Championship is on the line this weekend.
Right. Bellator.
With the Bellator belt.
Yes, it is the Bellator title. It's got a big B on it still. It is what it is. They haven't gotten a new one. But we'll get to all of that. If you enjoy all the shit we be doing around here, like and subscribe. We appreciate everyone that does. But for me, with GFL being the new player in the room, seeing what's going on, seeing what they're going to do, they got their opening year this year coming up. And they got their draft going on also this Friday, the 24th. Yes. I am extremely excited to see how all of that plays out. Over time, we have slowly gotten more and more information of just more fighters that are involved with the draft. We've gotten the cities, we've gotten coaches, managers, all of this stuff going on. First, we could start with the cities that have gotten announced for the teams. And I'm pretty sure that's where they're going to be holding their events throughout the year in these 6 cities, I believe. And then we also got the coaches and managers. There was only one team that they didn't announce the manager for, but we'll get to that. Going in order, first one, LA is the first city. I'm pretty sure I actually have it in opposite order of how they announced it because, but either. Hey, I'm just saying, it's technically the 6th city, but, LA coach Rafael Cordero, very well respected and known coach in MMA, has been around the game for a very long time, and their manager is going to be Vanderlei Silva. Extremely happy to see he's one of those people that ended up in a manager position and is not a part of the draft. Thank fucking God.
Thank God. Same with a couple other guys, but same. It's like one of those things where it's like, I'd rather see these guys in a manager, like a role like that, not this.
Yeah, because we know that they're out of their fight career. They are older, and it's like, instead of having to worry about them juggling their lives with the fight game yet again, they are now in a management position with this organization, and so they'll have the benefits of having this job within a fight team, but they're not the fighters, and I love that for them. Still fully involved in what they love, but they don't have to take any more damage because they're just past that.
Yeah, and especially someone like Vanderlei, who it's like came up and like was a star for Pride. You know what I mean? Like by the time the UFC bought Pride and he came over, he was past his prime. Like that wasn't even the best of him. Like that, just such an older generation, been through all of it with the bullshit contracts and all the fucked up things before a lot of things started getting normalized and bigger. And you know what I mean? So it's like being involved in the fucking the class action lawsuit against the UFC and like just all of that, to be in a part of this role to just help out some of these younger fighters that have never been like, just not as used to all the shit, and just be like, no, this is the kind of shit you should be asking for. This is what you're worth. Like, yeah, super happy that he has that, man.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Next city, Miami. Just blowing up as a hot spot for MMA since COVID, honestly, is really just a lot of money and just events going there. Coach Conan Silveira, longtime coach at ATT, well-known coach. His son, Josh Silveira, fighter in the PFL. But the manager for that one, Thiago Alves, former 170-pound title challenger in the UFC, top contender for years, vet, everything. Yep. Another fighter that's been in the game forever, knows what's going on with all these contracts and shit.
No, I feel like everything we just said for Silva just applies to everyone that will be mentioned.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah. New York, next city, Ray Longo is going to be their coach. Manager to be announced. They do not have one yet. It is definitely hard. You know what I mean? I feel like of just the fighters that they could kind of pull from that specific area, because I feel like a lot of them are still really tied to the UFC.
Yes.
I'm honestly wondering if we could get Chris Weidman in this role.
I was about to say he just retired. Yeah, that's entirely possible. He also trained a long time with Team Sarah Longo.
Oh yeah, that's where he came up and everything. Yeah, so
that would be such an easy transition for him to be.
I would love that for him too. Like that would be so good.
He's still tied to the UFC with him doing a lot of the pre-fight shows and all that. So it'll be interesting to see if he actually does move into that type of role. But Ziason, I could see becoming a commentator. In all honesty, they might keep him around for that post-fight analysis, pre-fight. Shows, all that. So,
but
it'll be interesting.
Either way, if he especially just for Chris Weidman in general, it'd be nice for him to just get something good like that, where he's still in the game, so he can get all of those feels and love like being around it, but has a secure role, not fighting to make money, and but we'll see what they end up going. Next city, Sao Paulo, Brazil. Let's go. Coach Andre Pederneiras, longtime coach as well. Manager, going to be Lyoto Machida, former champ in UFC. Let's go. I'm definitely loving that for them. That just makes a whole lot of sense to have a city in Brazil.
Yeah.
Let's go. Ginger, I do not know if you can educate me at all on this next one for London, because I do not know these motherfuckers, honestly.
Off the top of my head, no. I would have to look these guys up. I have not.
All right.
I will say that I just tried to wiki Carl Prince.
Yes.
And the only thing that came up was the fact that he's a part of GFL, so he doesn't have his own page.
Let's see. A site about Carl Prince MMA. Head coach of Manchester Top Team.
Oh, okay.
So that's who that is. Luke Barnett. He actually kind of looks familiar. Did he fight in the UFC?
He sounds a little bit familiar, but But yeah, Coach Carl Prince, manager Luke Barnett.
All right, Luke Barnett says internet personality. He definitely was a former fighter, 36 years old. Luke Big Slow Barnett fought at middleweight in the UFC. What was his record at the end of his career? 15-10.
Okay.
3-3 in the UFC.
Okay, so just a UK vet.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, so for all the UK people out there, probably gonna be upset with that, but it is what it is. Carl Prince, Luke Barnett, coach and manager duo for that, so good for them. Definitely makes a shit ton of sense to have London as a city for sure.
Oh yeah.
And then the last one. This one, just makes all the sense in the world. Dubai was the first city that they did end up announcing on Instagram, whatever. That makes all the sense in the world because they're just going to be getting a shit ton of money for going there. Coach Javier Mendez, head coach at AKA, and the manager there, Cain Velasquez. So goddamn happy to see that duo as the head of that team.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. That makes complete and total sense.
Yeah. So those are your 6 cities. Those are your coaches. Those are your managers. How you guys feeling about all of that information?
I love it.
I like it.
Obviously, other than London, where we don't know those people, it's just people that have been around for a long time, people that are just good for these roles. I'm happy for them that they have this as their new, just secure job so that they don't have to fight with, Vanderlei, fucking Thiago, Cain Velasquez, Leo. You know what I mean? Like, It's just really good for all of them. Yeah, it's awesome. Good coaches, so.
Hell yeah.
So, Manchester top team that is home to fighters such as Lerone Murphy. Who else is on here who we would know?
Hey, that's good enough for me.
That's good enough, honestly. But I was like, I'm pretty sure there's someone else.
You telling me he's the head coach of rising undefeated prospect at featherweight Lerone Murphy in the UFC? That's very damn good.
Yeah.
So definitely awesome. Very happy just seeing just all the information coming out. Just I don't know, the more that it's coming out, just I feel like this is just going to be something that like just works out for the fighters, even if it's like for this year or something. You know what I mean? It's just I really hope that it like just a lot of fighters get good contracts and make some good money and just get good opportunities here.
They have a hell of a lot of fighters that are drafted to go in. So
yeah,
I think they can put together something good for their first year. Honestly,
it'll be interesting.
And it's like I'm just super curious on like with the coaches and the managers of like who they decide to draft, what team. You know what I'm super excited for the draft on Friday, man. I cannot wait to see how that plays out. I want to see how the production is like.
That I will say is going to be very interesting to see because like draft ideology is something you don't think of when you think of MMA. So like that's something that I'm going to find real interesting to see how they actually do that.
Yeah, because then it's like, we'll find out if they probably, are just launching everything off of the app. I know that they said that they're launching the app with the draft, I'm pretty sure. So it's like, we'll see if they do the draft on YouTube, if they're like, oh, we're launching the app, let's say Thursday, and now it's like it's live on the app Friday for the draft,
Yeah.
Because then it's like if they do it on their app and do that, we're gonna just see so much of like, okay, what is their production value? How good is it? You know what I mean? So yeah, we'll get a whole lot of more information about how everything might end up later this week. Official weight classes also got dropped. On the women's side, we have atom weight, which is going to be 110 pounds, straw weight 125 pounds, and then bantamweight 140 pounds. I know that they talked about of doing like, increasing the weight for like the named weight classes to try and help with weight cutting and all that. The thing I am the most curious about and don't understand is how come at straw weight you did a 10-pound increase?
But every other one was 5.
Well, even like atom weight I could understand, but it's like bantamweight, like you have bigger people, so it's like I would assume want more, like I don't know. It just like it just feels to do 5 at bantamweight but 10 at straw weight when it's 20 pounds less. Like,
but I also kind of
know.
But at the same time, I'm not too mad at that because, like, you could have people who are closer to the featherweight limit who, like, they can't necessarily make that 135 limit. But they might be able to make 140 a lot easier. I don't know. Like, that might be.
Yeah, I figured they would just do 45. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, same. Because, like, most of the weight classes, or, when we move up to all the men's weight class, basically moved up like 10 to 15, depending on which one it was. Because
then and then it's just also weird of like that it's because 125 is like a legit sanctioned weight class, you know what I mean, under the commission. But so it's like that one, I feel like I don't know, it won't have any weird things of like catch weight or you know what I mean. But then it's like the other ones are just I don't know. I just never understood why they were doing catch weights for the women's weight classes at the beginning and why they chose this now. Either way, doesn't really make too much of a difference though. But on the men's side, we have bantamweight 145, featherweight 155, lightweight 165, welterweight 180, middleweight 200 pounds, light heavyweight 225, and heavyweight at 265. So yeah, getting that 10-pound increase on the lighter ones, 15 pounds up at middleweight, 20 at light heavyweight. So feel like those ones definitely make sense with how big them motherfuckers be.
Yeah.
But yeah. Those are all of the big announcements for GFL that have happened the past week or so. We've gotten they've announced a million fighters that are draft eligible, which it's like that to go through the list of that is just too long and excessive. Yeah, we'll just wait to see how Friday goes, wait to see who actually gets drafted, and then have a much more concise list of fighters to talk about.
Yeah.
Let's go. That's it for GFL. All that talk. I'm very excited. Can't wait for Friday. But also on Friday, it's not just draft day. We're not just having that. We got some motherfucker fights going on.
I'm so excited for these fights.
Too early in the morning, 4:30 a.m. start for the first prelim fight for us. Oh my goodness, Ginger's at least blessed with the 6:30, but I'm sure you're just gonna be working through. Oh yeah, so hey,
we work too. Don't say it like that.
I took off of work. You should have been smart.
I literally, I am walking out the door at like 6:30. Type shit.
Absolutely terrible. But yeah, 170 fight. I'm very surprised looking up before that they were doing this on Amazon Prime. Last year, their numbered cards they were doing off of their app and doing like $20, $30, $40 pay-per-views for it. So probably we're just like, damn, we were getting like 500 buys. So like maybe we should just make this on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, but let's go. Main event. We got a pretty damn good fight at 155 pounds, which is featherweight in one championship. Tawanchai looking to defend his Muay Thai title against Superbon in a rematch. It kind of just a funny scenario of how it is all played out between them and how we have gotten to this fight. Because you have Tawanchai, the reigning champ. He beat Joe Nattawut, Smokin' Joe, in kickboxing, which he then goes into the title fight against Superbon in Muay Thai, gets the win, rematches Smokin' Joe in, defending his title, was supposed to go into the trilogy against Smokin' Joe, ends up pulling out, so they end up doing Superbon Smokin' Joe. Superbon knocks him out in the first round and gets himself his rematch for the title against Tawanchai.
Yep.
Whole lot of fun back and forth on that. Smokin' Joe also on this card, notably too, which is just these
motherfuckers be fighting.
But why? It's like I just understand of talking about it, just like a lot of Muay Thai fighters just like their careers just end when they're super young, because it's like you just got knocked the fuck out, and now you're fighting on the same card. Fucking he's full. It's just crazy, man. But Tawanchai Superbon, this is going to be a super good fight. I'm very excited for this one.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun fight, but I do just expect Tawanchai to beat Superbon again.
You think he's going to get it done?
Yeah, he had a pretty solid decision over Superbon. It's like obviously Superbon's a good fighter, but he is on the older side for somebody still in Muay Thai at 34 years old. And Tawanchai definitely just has the advantage over him. He looked good in their last fight. I think he's going to look good in this fight.
I honestly did not realize that Superbon was 34 years old.
Yeah.
That'll probably be the biggest factor, honestly, because Tawanchai only being 25 years old. 5'11", 70-inch reach for Tawanchai. Basically the same for Superbon. So it right there, same size. I don't know. I honestly don't know who I'm just expecting to come out on top of this one, but we'll see if you're right, if Tawanchai is able to retain his title, or if Superbon's able to get back to the gold. But it's high-level Muay Thai, so it's always great. It's always a jolly good old show.
This next one is what I'm really excited for, though.
Yes and no, because excited isn't the exact proper thing for me. I'm extremely nervous.
Yeah, that's true, but I don't know. Confidence has been building for me about this fight. I don't know why, but my boy Fabricio de Andrade is back after his loss I did not realize it's been that long. It was November of 2023. He got finished by Jonathan Haggerty in kickboxing. He's had a long time off. I know he was trying to get fights earlier, but nothing was able to work out.
Yep.
But he's back in his sport, MMA, to defend his title against Kwon Il. He beat him back in June of 22. He finished him first round liver kick. It was fucking beautiful. Kwon has been on a tear since. He's on a 3-fight winning streak. All of them finishes. They're both just vicious fighters. You know what I mean? And obviously, yeah, it's scary for Fabricio because he's coming off of that nasty loss, and we have Kwon, who is on a very good run. But I think with the time off and just really trying to get back in there, Fabricio has had more than enough time to recover, and he's going to get it done. I hope.
Yeah, it's where I'm just so nervous because just being so tough as he was and just so unexpectedly getting finished by Haggerty like that, you know, it's like
it was really rough.
Bro, just watching Kwon just be that guy on like the undercard to so many of these fights, you know, and just fucking people up. It's like he's a little bit taller than Fabricio. He's a little bit longer. Just one of those things of fucking confidence and momentum, you know. It's like you said, all of this time off. It's been a year and 3 months, you know, like it. It's like you said, he got the finish in the first one, you know, a minute into the first round. So it's like, I would not be surprised if he's able to get it done again, but I'm definitely just nervous.
I understand.
It's going to be a banger, though. It's going to be fucking fun as shit as long as it lasts. That is for sure.
Definitely just hoping for a Fabricio win in there.
Yeah.
Do you think if Kwon is able to get the win here, and I mean, I don't know if they'll probably go to like an immediate rematch, I would assume. But do you think fucking Lineker might end up being able to bounce over back to MMA and get himself a title shot with a new champion in there?
I wouldn't be surprised, but maybe the only reason why I'm gonna say maybe no is because he did just take the loss too. So it's like in MMA, he is on a losing streak technically. I mean, I guess they shouldn't use the Shinya one against him.
Yeah.
Because that was short notice up however much. So maybe, honestly.
Because, yeah, it's like he lost to Fabricio and then had,
2
like,
fight winners.
Yeah, third round finish and then decision, you know, and then started to, yeah, that fucking Shinya one was just stepped in on fucking a couple hours notice or whatever. Like, yeah, fucking open weight. Like, it was a whole wild ass thing. Or was it Shinya that stepped in for him? I forget exactly what happened with that one.
Weird shit.
I'm pretty sure it was Shinya.
Yeah. But yeah, and then has just been fighting Muay Thai since. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's always exciting too. So you know what I mean? Like one would definitely throw him into a title fight for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, so good. Very excited for that bantamweight title fight. Yeah, it's gonna be wild. Let's go. Other fight on this card that should be a whole lot of fun. Nico Carrillo is on this card, or Carrillo. He was supposed to get a title fight against Superlek for the bantamweight title. Very sad that it was unable to come to fruition. But instead of fighting for the title, he now just gets to fight the biggest motherfucker in existence in this weight class, Nabil Anane. Yeah.
Okay,
what a switch up in fucking frames.
Yeah.
No, for real.
I will say though that I think Nico's still gonna get it done.
Yep.
Yeah. I know that Nabil is unnecessarily fucking tall for this division because what is he? 6'4" with an 80-inch reach. Nico is 5'10" with a 72-inch reach.
Yep.
But Nabil is not always the best at using his length.
Yes.
He is still very young. He's only 20 years old, so he definitely has a lot of development to do.
Yes.
But obviously to be that big and making, what the fuck is it, 135? 140? Featherweight, so 145.
Yeah. Or, well, they're bantamweight, but yeah.
So it's like he's obviously very small and like very just skinny. You know what I mean?
Yes.
He's skinny as fuck. Nico is a very good fighter. He knows how to put shit together. And with Nabil not really using his length to his advantage, I think Nico's going to get in there and get him out of there. Even if it's just ripping body shots and folding him. Like, I could definitely see it.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. 4-fight win streak in one championship, 4 finishes. Yeah, it like you said, getting on the inside and especially using that body work, that is definitely going to be his path to victory in this one for sure. Because it's like
Nabil's one loss in one championship is to Superlek straight right to the body. Close the distance, went in there, boom. He It's like he's a real skinny guy, real little frame. Yeah. He gets hit there with a clean shot. I feel like Nico can fold him too.
Nah, yeah, that's very fair. Because it's like, definitely the biggest name on Nico's run is Nango for sure. But 38 years old, on the older side. But then it's like Sam Apech and Muay Thai both 30 years old, so it's like not old like that at all. And getting all three of them out of there in under 2 rounds. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he deals with that length. But yeah, if he's able to get it on the inside, he probably wins by finish for sure.
Yeah.
And just extra cement himself a title shot at Super Leg. Yeah. Whole lot of fun. I'm loving all these fights. We got Sekson on this card.
Yeah,
the man that yields to no one.
The man who yields to no one versus Man of Steel. Hell yeah.
That's
let's get it.
What a battle of the nicknames.
He was on a very good run, knocking people out until he just lost the decision to Nabil.
Yeah. I forgot that was to Nabil, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah. So that should be a really good fight.
Yep. And then, yeah, as mentioned earlier, Smoking Joe Nattawut on this card.
For whatever fucking reason.
Just because it's fucking fighting. Yeah, man. It just a real rough run of it, honestly. He's lost 5 of his last 6 fights, getting finished in 2 of those. I mean, it's not to bad guys like former champs and Chingiz and Superbon.
Yeah, but the guy he's fighting is the guy that knocked out Luke Lessie in the 3rd round in July.
That's a rough one. Yeah. Well, we'll see how that one goes.
Yeah.
Hopefully you don't get beat up too bad. But yeah.
We have the fucking battle of the Johans on this card because we can't skip over that. I'm so excited for this one. We have the young ass Johan, the fucking 17-year-old. Is he 18 now? No date of birth on here, so I'm not sure.
I think he might be 18 now.
Either way, young as hell. He has multiple fights in one championship.
He was on like a 5-fight win streak in Friday fights. I'm pretty sure took a loss and 2-fight win streak now.
1 fight.
1 fight. Sorry.
Yes, he lost the decision and then got the left hook knockout in September. He is taking on the other Johan, who's also pretty young at 21 years old, and he is just a wild fighter. He is on a very good run himself. He is undefeated in 1 championship at 4-0 in 1. He's just wild. Very, very wild. Younger Johan is technical. He's scrappy. He's a lot of fun. This Johan is just stupid and violent, and it's great. I love it. I don't know. I'm so excited for this fight.
Look, you brawl the boxer, you box the brawler. You know what I mean? Like, that's what makes this fight really fun.
Yeah, I don't know who's really gonna come out on top, honestly, because it's like, young Johan is like, because like the younger one, it's like he's tough, man. Like he's really shown that durability,
100%.
But against the Estupinan, like that's just a different, like a level of fucking ferociousness of strikes coming at you. Like I don't know if he's tough enough to hang with that.
Yeah, it's like he leaves himself very open and he makes wild shots, but when those wild shots land, everything is behind it.
Yeah.
Everything he has is behind those shots. Like,
but young Johan can just see him come and read him and get some counters off. Bruh, he might just fucking, I don't know if he might put his Estupinan to sleep, but he could easily get a 3 knockdown rule over him.
For sure.
100%.
Oh my God. Chaotic violence in that one.
Too young for what's about to happen.
Yeah, too young and not enough money.
Neither of them are getting paid enough money for this one.
No.
Yeah. So that is just crazy. But on the complete opposite end of fucking combat sports, from 2 young bucks striking each other, we got 2 old veterans, just decorated legacies in the game of jiu-jitsu with Marcelo Garcia and Imanari grappling each other.
32 and 48.
Yeah.
Marcelo Garcia currently battling cancer too.
Yeah, it just so rough. I hope everything fucking ends up being okay with him, man. Just hope, just that.
I'm glad that he's even like at a point where he's able to get himself in there because he was talking about how the doctor's telling him he would never be able to do this shit again. And obviously it's been a long time since he has. But I wonder if just being told that you're not going to be able to do this or you can't do this just made him want to make sure he can get in there one more time, And as much as Imanari is a legend himself, I hope that Garcia can get it done because, just sad.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you not root for Marcelo Garcia in this one? You know what I mean? Like, there's just no, and it's just good too that at least one doing a good thing of like, give him another legend, another old guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's not like, not some fucking like Kid Ruotolo type shit. You know what I mean? Like we don't
I don't think he would have taken it. I think he's smart enough.
There's enough respect for it. Like,
But yeah, no, I do agree. Like, how do you not root for Marcelo? Like, what, you're gonna root for the guy who didn't beat cancer? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
but so just hopefully just Marcelo is able to look good, just have a nice good moment for himself in that one. That's all you could ask for. And then the opener of the card is the battle of the brothers. Jonathan Haggerty's brother, Freddie Haggerty. He's had a couple fights and one championship now, but he's taken on the debuting Jordan Estupinan, the brother of Johan.
The twin brother. Identical twin brother.
Like the most of when I saw him first fucking come out of the corner after one of Johan's wins, it was just straight up like just a fucking mirror world. It was like, what is going on? They are literally the same exact people.
Yeah.
It is crazy. I can only imagine
if he fights anything like his brother, it'll be fun.
There's no way that you are a twin brother and your brother fights like that and that you don't have at least like 50% of that in you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. He probably won't fight exactly, but it's like he's got to be wild and crazy. And
I find this very funny because on all they have for Freddie Haggerty on Topology, so I don't know if he has anything more. 2 amateur bouts. He went 2-0, 2 finishes. Good for him. 3-0 in professional Muay Thai. He's all finishes and 1 championship. For Jordan, they have nothing but 1 amateur bout that he lost via DQ because of a legal punch.
That's funny.
And so I feel like they're kind of just lining up that's definitely Haggerty's brother and that's definitely the twin of Johan. So
yeah,
that's so funny. That is hilarious.
And also, to counter what you just said, Jimmy, about like you gotta fight like siblings a lot of the time fight a lot like each other, like with the Valentina Shevchenko, Anthony Shevchenko.
Yeah,
this is Muay Thai. It's different.
Muay Thai, and they're twins. Like that's the thing. Like that's like it's. I don't know. I just because it's like because even to in one championship like Cade and Ty, they are twins. But like very different. In how they actually compete. But it's just with how fucking Johan fights that there's
no way that Jordan was able to like put it together better and not that like they suck, but like there's just no way that one is this wild and trains this way and the other does not also train this way.
Because that's the thing. It's like because with the Ruotolos, it's like prodigies. You know what I mean? Technical prodigies. Of course, they're gonna have their own smart ways of how this is just wild, just wow. Like they're like that is just like all I imagine is that like I don't even know who the fuck where they train or anything like that. But I just imagine as kids they found Muay Thai together and they're just like we're training and they just fought each other probably for years until they ended up going to a gym or something and then actually like doing this, like that's how I at least imagine their fucking backstory. And I
know that there isn't much out on them, but what I do know is that their mom couldn't afford to keep them and that they ended up in foster care for a while in Colombia. And they were just obviously in foster care, just very poor. And then they did end up finding fighting and they were like, well, this is what we have to train for so that we can make some money,
Gotcha.
So.
Hell yeah. So definitely extra rooting for Jordan against Freddie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's go. That's 1 championship, 170 this Friday morning. Catch it early if you want. It should be a whole lot of fun.
I wonder if I can finagle a day off.
Huh?
I wonder if I can finagle a day off.
Hey, that's.
My
I'd be I just have a shit ton of time that I can always take off. So it's like,
with me, it's just like try and see if I think I have day off still technically that I could use, but week's notice is a little. But
let's go. Now let's move it on to, I would say, the least fun part of this episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
Yep.
PFL. They officially announced Bellator is dead. It's no more, no mas, booted, done. Nothing will be branded as Bellator, anything moving forward. So instead of Bellator Championship Series, everything will now be PFL Road to Dubai Champion Series.
I hate that so bad.
I hate that. Like, I hate the name so bad.
Because the thing that I just don't what
was PFL, bro?
Well, one or two, just get rid of the Road to Dubai and just call it the PFL Champion Series, and then you have the PFL regular and postseason.
I wonder how much money they're getting to put Dubai in their name, and it's helping keeping them afloat.
I'm not gonna lie. I think their sponsorship money from from going to Saudi Arabia, I think is what's keeping them afloat at this point.
Yeah, for sure. But it's like Road to Dubai Champion Series. Is that really the best way that they
it's
could,
dumb as shit. No.
I'm just saying there's got to be a better way they could have fit fucking Dubai into their promo. You know what I mean?
I don't know, dog.
Have you seen their graphics and their promos for fights? Do you think there's any creativity over there in the PFL marketing department?
This is like the creativity of a 60-year-old man that looks like Don Davis. You know, that's what I would about say is going on.
I don't
know. It's a terrible name. It's so terrible. Stupid, but
they suck at marketing, and it is one of those things where it's just like, oh well, it is what it is. I'm pretty much done with PFL.
I'm crying because why on their poster they have Dagestan versus Ireland too?
Oh yeah. That's
I did not realize that they did that.
Yeah, that's like the biggest angle they got for that.
I know,
for sure.
But that's just really fucking funny. They have so much going on their poster.
It is a pretty good rivalry, though. Honestly, Dagestan and Ireland,
there's been it's such a
Dagestan and Connor though,
it's Ireland. Well, I mean, at this point, it's not as much with just because of everything. But bro, the fucking
such a big rivalry that it's their second.
Yeah, the fan base is really what helped drive that because of the just hating each other and for so long the arguments between Conor and Khabib, it just very, very big for sure. But yeah, the title of it all sucks and all that. But we got Usman Nurmagomedov. As Coach Javier Mendez has said, he thinks that he's the most talented of all of them that he's ever trained with. The most talented fighter he has ever coached, he said. So that's DC,
that's high fucking
Khabib,
praise.
Islam, Luke Rockhold, Cain Velasquez. It literally, but even aside from Umar, everyone I just named was a UFC champion.
No, I know.
You know what I mean? It's just
the amount of people he's actually trained is actually fucking insane, and the amount of high level people he's trained is insane.
Yeah, and he gives Usman all the praise in the world. So that's definitely just a lot of pressure and everything. The Nurmagomedov name, I'm sure, is just a whole lot of pressure. And especially with Umar just taking the loss too, I'm sure it's even going to be fueled a lot more of, I've really got to get this win.
Yeah, because he's the last active one that, still has his own. Because I know Islam doesn't have the name, but obviously Islam with the loss, Umar just taking the loss, Khabib retired, yeah.
Exactly. So coming into this fight against Paul Hughes, he looked great against AJ McKee. Just fantastic. Just defended all the grappling. Looked great on the feet. Just pressuring him back, landing big shots on him, finding the timing. That's great. He's definitely a very solid fighter.
Yes.
I just do not know the level comparison at all between him beating AJ McKee and the run that Usman is on of Patricio Pitbull and Benson and Brent Primus and Shabley, and it's one of those things that I have always kind of struggled with, if like Bellator and just the more the second tier world, the major promotions, and just some of the fighters and when they're beating people and how they look, of how that actually stacks up against other people if they haven't had similar opponents or something, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, I understand. But I do think that Usman, just with the more experience, definitely has fought obviously higher level people and has just remained looking very good in all of his fights.
Yeah.
He'll probably be able to get it done, but I do think that it should be a good fight.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I've been feeling about the fight as well. Usman has fought the better, higher level competition. Paul Hughes, the only fight I've seen of his is the AJ McKee fight, so I really have nothing on him on how good I think he is. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah. Usman is a little bit taller, a little bit longer. Paul Hughes at 5'9" with a 70-inch reach. Usman at 5'11" with a 72-inch reach, so 2 inches taller, 2 inches longer. Just slight advantage there. Both of them extremely young, 26, 27 years old. So this is honestly a fight I would not be surprised if we could end up getting a rematch in the UFC down the line.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I don't know, both of them, just the hype on them and just how good both of them are being young as well. There's no way they just spend their careers in PFL. You know what I mean? I don't even think PFL will be around as long as their careers will last. But
yeah, I don't think so. And it's they've said it before. They're just waiting for Islam to leave the title so that Usman can go in and snatch it.
Yeah. So let's see. This should be Usman's 4th title defense, but it will be his 3rd. Had the no contest, his decision win over Brent Primus overturned due to the whole drug test and all that stuff. So you got fucking Paul Hughes making a whole lot of fun of Dagestan and juicing and stuff, and it's that's literally their only fighter that has ever had anything, and it was just just a weird situation and all that. It it wasn't some crazy thing if he got a 6-month suspension, so
yeah.
Paul, if there's one thing you don't need to start with the country that you're from is the morality arguments of the fighters from that nation. That is not the fight. That is not a fight you are going to win, my friend.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, 18-0 for Usman, 13-1 for Paul Hughes. Let's go. I'm excited, very excited for that one fight on this card.
Yeah.
That one fight on this card. Because the next best fight after that is Vadim Nemkov taking on Tim Johnson at heavyweight.
I would say the next best fight. That's just the co-main event and the people with names that we know. I think there will probably be some fun fights.
I mean, there could definitely be more fun fight, but next best fight in terms of notable fighters, and Vadim is actually a notable high level competitor. So it's but he's fighting Tim Johnson, 18-10. 39-year-old heavyweight Tim Johnson, coming off his first round ground and pound loss to Dennis Goltsov last year. He was on a good little run before that, though. Got himself 3 wins between Bellator, XFC, and PFL. He was on a rough little run before that, losing to Linton Vassell and Fedor and Valentin Moldavsky. So I just realized he will definitely lose this fight because Vadim's just another Fedor guy.
Yep.
And he lost to Fedor and the other Fedor guy in Valentin Moldavsky.
Yes. Tim Johnson is going to lose to every Fedor guy, including Fedor.
That is kind of crazy I don't think there's anyone that has probably fought that many people from that team.
No.
But yeah, definitely not that notable of a fight. Don't really care. But other than that, you got some good records on this card for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Nathan Kelly 11-2 taking on Ahmed Magomedov 10-1. Another Ireland Russia fight. Pretty good. PFL knows what they're doing here. You know what I mean? That's really all. That's the only one that they could get together.
Ibrahimov is back 8-0, 20 years old.
Damn, that's crazy. I did not realize he was that young.
Yeah.
But yep.
Another 8-0, Renat. Yeah, they have a lot of guys that are undefeated. Not a lot, but a good handful.
Well, yeah, because then you come 7-0. Yeah. Mirovzal 7-0-1.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, this is not a great card, not stacked out at all. It's really just that main event that's carrying this shit in any sort of notoriety to be talked about.
Would have been cool if Hassan Magomed Sharipov did not withdraw, because that would have been at least one more fight to be excited for.
I forgot that he was supposed to be on this card. I just no, you're good. It's just so often that I'm on fucking Instagram and then I just see like PFL updated card and I'm just like, what the fuck fell out again? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I saw that one day and saw Hassan. I was like, God fucking damn it! Like, and yeah. So that's sad. But either way, that's PFL Road to Dubai Champion Series for the Bellator title.
Yeah.
Oh, it's terrible. Let's go.
All right.
But it didn't even bring it up either that they're the restructure of how they're doing shit. They are no longer doing their regular season and the playoffs and the points and $1 million tournament and all of that nonsense. And with that, I also did find out that, because I was always under the assumption that with the PFL tournaments, you had the fighters that had whatever contract to fight for whatever fights. And then if they won the championship, then they got $1 million bonus on top of their fights. But for a majority of the fighters, I would assume other than a few, it was always whatever your purse is like for all of those fights was subtracted from the $1 million bonus at the end. So it's like that season just always added up to $1 million for these fighters. And then I guess like some fighters, like depending on their contract, like they basically the $1 million bonus wasn't even like really a thing, because like if they won like all 4 fights, like contractually they would have just made more than $1 million. So the whole kind of advertisement of that over the past few years has been kind of misleading.
Hey, yo, fuck PFL. I don't even want to talk about this shit no more. Nah. That is literally false advertisement.
I mean, it's like I thought about it, but it's not though, because they're always saying $1 million tournament. Like that's always been like the branding of it, like, or the $1 million season. Like, you know what I mean? Like
that just
the fighters make it. Like, the fighters win the tournament, and they have a chance to earn or win $1 million, and like that's. You win the tournament and you make $1 million. That's
like over the course of the tournament.
And I get what.
And I'm sure all of the fighters are obviously aware of that, like in the contract, whatever. But
aware of it.
But that's just something that, as a fan,
that is a sleazy way to promote it, though.
Yeah,
like no matter what, because it's like that is when that is said, that is not what is meant. You know what I mean? Like they are.
Right, because they have the fighters win and they hand them that big old $1 million
check.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. So So I thought that was just a notable little thing to bring up with that. But yeah, so they're no longer doing that. Basically, they're just taking Bellator's style of just doing a Grand Prix, but they don't want to call it a Grand Prix because that's what Bellator called it. So single elimination tournament, 8 competitors, so it'll be 3 rounds. They did announce that first round will be throughout April, second round throughout June, third round throughout August, and for that one it'll just be whatever contracts they make, and then if you win that tournament you get a $500,000 bonus like at the end of it. So it's one of those things where it's like, it's not the $1 million that for certain fighters, if they win the whole thing, they probably would have gotten more from like the in total $1 million. But it's only 3 fights instead of 4 fights. So, that's something. And then at least with Bellator, they never had like a set thing of like, we're having it this timeline. They'll have that shit last fucking 1.5 years if that's how that shit played out. So having it actually a clear timeline will definitely make that a lot better for them.
And I will say this, I prefer this over what they like. single elimination tournament Grand Prix, I've been saying like I would have preferred this from the jump. So I don't mind that.
Like that. I know a lot of people will definitely be more happy with that. I didn't really care about the points and stuff because it's like, I don't know, that was just something of like that it added a different thing to it, you know, like it made itself feel different, have like a different thing to MMA. So I always enjoyed it. They just definitely should have, if they had better like website, if they had an app, whatever, it could just be easier to follow along with everything, and you know what I mean, of just how everything worked and where everything was at. But no, you had to fucking do all that shit by yourself, like, oh, the Tapology, okay, they won in the first round, they won in the second round, so you know, like, dumb shit. But yeah, so hopefully this is just better for the PFL. They did say that they will have like 6 to 8 tournaments going, so that'll they only did 6 throughout like the other season, so if we end up with 8, that'll end up being just, you know, a couple more divisions to get that opportunity at a $500,000 bonus at the end. So that's very cool.
Yeah,
let's go. Let's see how that plays out for the PFL. You think they were also like, damn, GFL is doing points, we gotta change?
Maybe,
possibly.
But less bit of stuff to talk about for this episode of the podcast. We got a little bit of fight news. Oh, this first one, I'm very sad about. This was not the way that I thought they were going to end up going.
It makes sense.
It does. Main event for London, Leon Edwards. We knew he was fighting there, but we were, you know, just debating who it might be. It ends up being none other than Jack Della Maddalena. Getting his shot at a former champion. How you guys feel about this fight?
I like it.
I also like it.
I hate it.
This fight. Why do you hate it? Like I'm more curious why you hate it than why we like it. I feel like ours is self-explanatory.
I feel like out of all the other people that he could have fought right now, this is probably stylistically his toughest matchup.
I mean, yeah, that's possible. Yeah. Wait, hold on.
It's like I do agree with you.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think he kind of needs that tough test before he goes to the top like he's trying to do. It's real stacked out, and Leon is just that older generation guy that, like, if he can get past him, he has a much better chance at fighting all of the other guys coming up as well. You know what I mean?
For sure, 100%.
I just think that this will be better for him in the long run than somebody like Kamaru Usman. Even though Usman would have been the easier fight, bigger name on his record, and either way, he's right into a title shot with this win, you know?
Yeah.
But I just think that this is going to be better for him in the long run of what this division is growing into. He is, I thought he was only 28 years old, but I just wanted to double check that. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's just, I think this is a good fight, and I think he can get it done. He's just going to face a bit more adversity than he probably has, but I think it'll be good for him to do that.
No, but it's definitely a very fair point. It's just like like you said, like he definitely can win this fight because Leon will let himself get backed up along the cage, and that is not something that you want to do against Jack. And I'm just not sure if he's gonna be able to track him down consistent enough and just actually be able to like work that inside boxing and land those big combination strikes and be able to like get him out of there.
I just realized that Leon has never been finished before.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know that he obviously doesn't have a whole lot of losses. I just didn't know that, he has one DQ loss, but like his 3 legit losses, they're all decisions.
Yeah. No, like off the top of my head, I was trying to even think like who are like the power punchers he's like fought, and like who are this like complete submission threats who would actually be able to get him to the ground. I know he fought Gunnar Nelson, but if I remember, he finished him in the first round, didn't he?
Leon?
Yeah.
And no, that went to a split decision.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Who am I thinking that he knocked out then?
He knocked out
Pete Sabota or something like that.
Yeah, and that was probably 1 second left of the third round. Seth Baczynski. I don't fucking know.
Seth Baczynski.
Yeah. That was 8 seconds into the first round. 19 and 12.
Thinking of.
2015 we're going back to.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I get it.
But yeah, so it's like, I don't know, with Jack, Leon is a really clean striker. He is a good counter striker.
Yes.
But he doesn't really have crazy power. So
No.
I'm not too worried that he's going to stun Jack, or you know what I mean? I don't know.
I don't know. Can you walk into something clean like that's just like you get timed, you get,
But
like
Jack has good boxing to himself.
For sure.
I feel like he's going to be able to utilize that to like not get hit clean. Even if he gets touched, like it's not going to be the cleanest shot. Hopefully just, break that distance, get in there, back him up, and just be able to win. Maybe he will be the first person to get him out of there, and if he's not, hopefully he can just get that decision, because I guess that is where it's scary, because it's 5 rounds, right? Yep. 5 rounds main event, like Leon can obviously go 5.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it's just, if Jack doesn't get him out of there in the first 3, I don't think that he's finishing him, and I'm not sure if he's going to win the decision. It's because it's like, Leon has definitely shown that he can get touched and be hurt, you know what I mean? But he's just really good at surviving, staying alive, knows how to, he knows how to use his range and, distance, like at times when he wants to. And it's just all of his like most recent fights have been against high level wrestlers. That is easily a thing that I feel like he's going to employ against Jack Della Maddalena. And it's like, we saw that he got controlled and, like taken down a bunch by Gilbert, and he was losing that Hail Mary finish. Yes, he did have a broken arm in the first round. So to be able to do that is even more impressive, but it's like, Gilbert much older than Leon. It's like right in his prime, 33 years old.
I'm just hoping that the broken arm is what really gave that performance, you know what I mean? And that we'll be able to see a much better Jack. It's funny because I was just going through his record, and he has been booked for many 5-round fights, like just in regionals and all of that. He's never made it out of the second round. He finished all of those 5-round fights by round 2. So he doesn't even you know what I mean? Because I just wanted to see if maybe potentially he's ever made it at least into the 4th or the 5th round or something. They were all done by round 2.
Yeah. That makes sense.
It's like Leon, multiple 5-round fights at this point. You know what I mean? It's it's a great fight for sure. It's going to be good. Jack is going to make Leon put on a fun fight too. I have no doubt about that.
Yeah.
I'm just a little bit worried for my boy. I definitely do think that he can get it done, but it's still going to be rocking with him all day though. Let's fucking go, Baba Dabalena.
Oh yeah.
And I completely understand that. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll see how that plays out. GDM also on Cage Draft, so very nice to see her get another fighter booked. Moving on to the next fight, also a member of the draft, one of Ginger's honorable mentions, Taco Badia gets himself a fight against Jai Herbert, also in London, March 22nd. How happy are you about that fight, Ginger, or are you nervous?
I'm very happy with that fight. Like, it's a very winnable fight. Obviously, Jai Herbert's not like a complete scrub.
Black country banger.
But I just feel like, Badia is. I just think like he's gonna kind of surprise people, because I think people are gonna think, okay, he's fought 2 people who weren't, one person who was not great in the UFC, who's not been good in the UFC at all, someone else who's, 25-5. With Jai Herbert, like he did knock Ilya down, went to a majority decision draw with Ludwig Klein. So it's just like he's a good fighter. He's he's 3-4-1 in the UFC, which isn't great, but he's solid enough. And I think that he should just be able to get this done, be able to get the finish.
Hell yeah, that would definitely be awesome for Taco being able to get a finish out there for sure.
I also think he can get the finish.
Let's go. We'll see how that one plays out. Going on to the next one, another fighter on the draft, my boy, our boy, everyone's boy, Michael Morales, Ecuador's boy.
But this isn't the fight that I wanted.
No.
We all knew it was coming.
Yep. Yep. Why does Gilbert gotta be the motherfucker to always say yes?
Seriously, bro, I didn't even realize that he was on a 3-fight losing streak.
Speaking of everyone's boy, as well, Gilbert Burns, like that's the thing.
Yes, truly everyone's boy.
Boys.
Yeah.
Like,
it's so sad.
Because it's fucking Bilal, Jack, and Sean Brady.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now he's taking on undefeated, up and coming Michael Morales. Like, this is a rough fight.
Yeah. And because it's like Bilal, like not being some like younger like guy, but it's like that was still Bilal as the contender on the way up, trying to get the title, grabs the title, Jack super young on the way, just taking on all these guys that are below him, trying to earn their name, get their shot at the title off beating him, and he's just like, yep, keep them coming. I am down to fight and defend my spot and earn my opportunities.
Yeah, I love him.
Which is why I love Gilbert. God damn it.
And it's like, I know he looked terrible in the Sean Brady fight. He did say that was a terrible weight cut for him, and he couldn't do anything like he wanted to, and that was a very noticeably different and bad Gilbert Burns.
Yes.
So it's like the fear of, he aged overnight. Like, I am willing to trust him and be like, okay, let's see what you can do,
Yeah.
I'm willing to trust him for this one, but if it looks if it looks fair, if it looks fairly similar, it's like, okay, no, he's aged a lot.
Yeah, because he's not respecting the grappling of Michael Morales coming out of Ecuador. He feels like that's going to be the path to victory. That is definitely going to be his path to victory. It's just so hard, man, because it's like, I love Michael Morales. I want to see him move up and go through the division. I want to see him remain undefeated, talking about wanting to see all these undefeated guys fight each other. But it's like, I would not be upset at all if Gilbert gets it done.
No, yeah, I understand.
Yeah,
just one of those things. Like, how can you root against him,
Yeah.
It's Gilbert, man.
So let's go.
Mourinho.
We'll see how that one plays out. Just definitely nice that, do the draft, everything, and 3 fighters or 1 fighter for each of us all getting announced, just right after another getting confirmed.
Yeah.
So let's go.
That is nice.
Another one to bring up. Oh, it's official. Playing some games online, social media, talking some shit. All the bullshit is over. 2025, we finally get it. Magomed Ankalaev gets his shot at Alex Poatan. How you guys feel about this? March 8th, UFC 313.
I'm so happy.
About fucking time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dog, this should have been done last year. But
listen, like I said when everything was going on, I'm not necessarily mad at it, because not only did the Khalil fight end up being just a great fight and a fun fight to watch, but it's like, with all things with Magomed, I don't know. I said it before the Rakic fight. His last 3 fights were a draw with fucking Johan, where he went on the mic and said that he wasn't fighting for the UFC. Has a first round no contest with Johnny Walker. Not his fault, but it still happened. And then he finally beats Johnny Walker, which obviously just ages worse and worse, because everybody be knocking out Johnny Walker these days. So it was just like, does he really deserve it at all either? You know what I mean? So like, he beats Rakic. Now we're here. It is what it is. It's fine. It's happening. It's a great fight.
Yeah. And because that's where it's just hard too, because it's like, he's just on this run and constantly beating guys over and over and over, and just constantly, or like just not losing, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's not his fault that he's not getting a top 5 guy when he should be.
I know, because he does have a lot of other ranked wins in Nikita and Volkan and Anthony Smith 2 years ago, so obviously better than now, but
Yeah, and like just been in there in that spot, but he keeps getting people, and like, with Johnny Walker, like getting that, like, that's just who he was offered, so he's going to take it. So you have the bullshit, and then it like, obviously they're going to do it again, but then it's like, so he beats Johnny Walker, it's like, been knocked out a million times, ranked number 9, but then you have these other guys that are ranked above Magomed beating better guys, so then it's like, they
I
get
just
the
feel like he
title
really
shot,
fucked himself with the Jan draw, and then what he was saying
sure.
on the mic afterwards. I feel like that was the biggest factor.
Yeah,
you want to
then just got unlucky with Johnny Walker in the first one, honestly.
Yeah.
No, yeah. You want to know why I think everything went wrong for him? Him having to rematch Ian Kundalaba. I think that's where everything just started to die for his timeline.
What a wacky fucking thing that was. Oh my god, I'll never forget that shit.
That's where the timelines diverge, where one timeline he's been champion for like a year and a half, 2 years, but we're in this timeline.
Yeah. But that's a great fight. I'm very excited to see how that one plays out. And let's see if the power of Poatan is able to prevail again, or if Ankalaev can maybe fight smart for one time in his life and put together a correct game plan to get this done for the title.
We'll see.
He gets left hooked 2 minutes and 22 seconds into the 3rd round.
Let's go. But we also got a co-main event. It's official. Oh my goodness. Violence is guaranteed in this one once again.
Violence,
Justin Gaethje taking on Dan Hooker. What a fucking great fight.
Yeah.
I low-key feel like win or lose, Gaethje retires after this fight.
It's extremely possible, man.
Yeah, no, that is 100% possible.
I feel, he said it after the Max Holloway one, like, oh, if he gets knocked out like that again, he's done. He's been teasing retirement either fucking way, and I just feel like if he goes to war, which is very plausible with Dan Hooker, especially over 5, because it's a 5-round co-main, like, I'm not sure if he's gonna continue after that. I don't know.
I think, like, if he doesn't retire, he might just, like, take a year out and then just get his opportunity for a title whenever they want to slot him in.
But I feel like he's not stupid. He's already 36 years old. He takes a year off. He's coming back 37 years old. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't think he's dumb. He knows the way the fight game ages, and so that's why I'm just like, this might be it. But the one thing, because what I was going to say is, if it is it, I hope he makes that decision prior to the fight so that he can let the UFC know and get a proper send-off, because that is one goddamn retirement package that would go so crazy.
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Whenever he's done, but whenever he knows this is going to be his last fight, I really hope that he can know that and tell them so we could have that moment, because what a shame it would be to not have that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and for Dan Hooker, if he's able to get it done, man, he's earning himself a title shot. Like, I feel like there's no way he doesn't get put into there, or like, I feel like at worst he's getting himself like a Charles Oliveira fight or something. You know what I mean? Like, that would be so big. Probably the biggest win of Dan Hooker's career to get it done over Justin Gaethje.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go. 5-round co-main event. See how all that plays out. And then the last little bit of news. Patricio Pitbull officially released from PFL. I know in the post-fight press conference, one of the reporters asked Dana White about him, and like, he's just like, I don't know, like, just have to like talk to whatever. And then they asked about like Aaron Pico, and he was just like, I know that they're definitely interested in him, so we are for sure going to see Aaron Pico over into the UFC. Patricio,
I didn't realize that Aaron was only 28, so that's awesome for him.
Yeah. Pitbull, I'm just not sure. 37 years old, I'm pretty sure. If not, it's 36. Just on the older side. I don't know if the UFC really wants to bring him in for maybe a couple fights to lose. I don't really know how much, like, how big those fights are gonna be, and like probably gonna have a good price tag on them. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think they will. Like,
But if they were down and fucking were just like, bro, fucking, if Ilya like defending his title and just like fuck Volkanovski, whatever, we're bringing in, or honestly, even better, the best thing to do, let Ilya move up to fight Islam for Islam's next title defense. Interim title, Alexander Volkanovski versus Patricio Pitbull. Let's fucking do that. I am so motherfucking down for that, because that was a great fight 4 years ago. Now both a bit older, out of their primes. Let's go. Give Volk his shot at a title. Give Patricio a shot at a UFC title. A legends fight between them. 2 long-reigning featherweight champions. That's probably the best way to do it if they want to sign him.
Yeah.
I actually love that. I'm not even going to lie.
So, yeah. Let's see how that goes. That would be awesome. Gotta get him. Gotta get Pico. Gotta get Patchy. Gotta get Usman.
Gotta get Dakota.
Gotta get Dakota. Gotta get a whole lot of people over. So yeah, that is it though. All of the fight news to talk about for this episode of the podcast. Let's fucking go. I hope everyone enjoyed this one. We will catch you on the review to all of these fights, and hopefully with a whole lot of fun with the GFL draft. So
hopefully.
Let's go. Peace out, everyone.